Qantas has some huge plans in store for their A350 fleet. Why, you may ask? Well, back in 2017, Qantas introduced Project Sunrise, an ambitious plan aiming to offer direct, non-stop flights connecting Sydney, London, and New York, something that's never been done before. The revolutionizing project was set to open new possibilities in air travel, but before they could initiate Project Sunrise, Qantas had to decide between using the Boeing 777X and the Airbus A350. After some consideration, they opted for the Airbus A350, a choice that surprised some but wasn't considered a major issue. However, this caused Qantas to make some revolutionizing plans for the A350, which will surprise many. Project Sunrise aimed to pioneer ultra-long-haul flights lasting up to 19 hours without stops, pushing the boundaries of aviation. The project's name was inspired by perilous World War II flights from Perth to Sri Lanka en route to London, which endured such extended durations that they witnessed 2 sunrises. To prepare for the potential launch of Project Sunrise in 2022, Qantas conducted trial research flights in 2019. These flights monitored levels of melatonin, the hormone regulating sleep cycles, and studied the effects on passengers' health, well-being, and body clocks due to factors such as lighting, food, movement, sleep patterns, and in-flight entertainment. This was done to ensure that both passengers and crew members would be able to endure up to 22 hours in the air without a break. During one of the trial flights, which aimed to test this endurance, the journey ended up becoming the world's longest passenger flight by a commercial airline, lasting 19 hours and 19 minutes and covering a distance of 11,060 miles. However, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, airlines worldwide faced significant uncertainty, leading Qantas to postpone its anticipated 2022 launch of the project. Fortunately, global aviation began to recover as early as 2021, prompting Qantas to firmly revive the Project Sunrise initiative with a new target launch date set for 2025. Qantas is no stranger to long-haul operations. They already operate non-stop flights with their Boeing 787s from Perth to London and Rome. Despite being more expensive compared to other carriers with layovers in Asia, these flights have proven to be popular for Qantas. As Qantas planned to expand their long-haul services, they aim to acquire a more fuel-efficient aircraft for their Project Sunrise, considering options like the Airbus A350-1000 or the Boeing 777X. Surprisingly, they opted for the Airbus model. People were puzzled by this choice when Qantas announced the order of 12 Airbus A350-1000 aircraft. Many questioned why they didn't choose the Boeing 777X, especially since it boasted the largest twin-engine size and greater seating capacity in a typical 3-class configuration. However, the Airbus A350-1000's superior range of nearly 8,000 nautical miles compared to the 7,290 nautical miles of the Boeing 777X might have made it more suitable for Qantas's plans for Project Sunrise. Additionally, the A350 featured a clean sheet design with composite construction, which could have been another factor influencing their decision. As Qantas planned to expand their long-haul services into the United States under Project Sunrise, they aimed to acquire a more fuel-efficient aircraft. The top contenders were the Airbus A350 and the Boeing 777X. Surprisingly, Qantas chose the Airbus model. When they announced the order of 12 Airbus A350-1000 aircraft, people wondered why they didn't opt for the Boeing 777X, especially considering its larger twin-engine size and greater seating capacity in a typical 3-class configuration. However, the Airbus A350-1000's superior range of nearly 8,000 nautical miles compared to the 7,290 nautical miles of the Boeing 777X might have made it more suitable for Qantas's plans for Project Sunrise. Additionally, the A350 boasted a clean sheet design with composite construction, offering certain advantages over the revamped aluminum fuselage design of the 777X, despite the latter's use of some composite materials on its wings. Qantas chose the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB engines for the A350 over the GE 9X engines used in the 777X. While the decision factors are not explicitly stated, it could be related to the aircraft's pricing. The Boeing 777-9 has a list price close to $450 million, while the 777-8 is just over $400 million, both exceeding the approximately $365 million price tag of the A350-1000. However, beyond pricing, issues and delays in the Boeing 777X program including problems with its GE9X engines, might have influenced Qantas's decision. Additionally, sales performance for the A350 has been stronger compared to the 777X, which could have also played a role in the decision-making process. Although the Boeing 777X has been available for a longer time, which could have influenced Qantas's decision, they might have leaned towards what they perceived as a more secure option due to the Airbus A350's proven track record and engine reliability. However, the main surprise with Qantas's selection of the Airbus A350 lies in their unique cabin design choice. The standard seating capacity of the A350-1000 is around 480 in a single-class configuration, or approximately 410 in a three-class layout. However, Qantas has decided to redesign their A350 cabins to accommodate just 238 passengers in a four-class layout. This configuration gives the aircraft the lowest cabin density among any passenger A350s currently in operation. The decision to reduce seating capacity was partly to allow the planes to carry extra fuel needed for the almost 11,000-mile journey without stopping. What's particularly noteworthy is Qantas's approach within this redesign. The four-class layout will include first class, business class, premium economy, and standard economy, with a significant 40% of the cabin dedicated to premium seats. This aligns with Qantas's aim to provide extreme comfort to its passengers, even extending to the economy seats. It's certainly understandable, considering that most of these non-stop flights are expected to last more than 8 hours. The perks of Qantas's planned cabin redesign include a well-being zone where every passenger can stretch out to prevent cramping. For first-class passengers, there will be enclosed private suites that are 50% larger than those on their A380 jets. These suites will feature tailored lighting, an entertainment system, and 2-meter luxury beds, among other comforts, promising one of the best in-flight experiences on any long-haul carrier. In terms of configuration, there are expected to be 6 first-class suites with privacy walls and 52 flatbed seats in a 1-2-1 layout for business class. Premium economy is expected to have 40 seats in a 2-4-2 layout, while standard economy will have 140 seats in a 3-3-3 layout. Qantas aims to unveil Project Sunrise by 2025, and if successful, the project promises to revolutionize commercial flying, at least on routes between Europe and Australia. In fact, Qantas has recently made a significant investment in a brand new executive lounge at London Heathrow, demonstrating their commitment to extending comfort from the aircraft to the airports. However, if Project Sunrise does become successful, there are expected to be both winners and losers. Clearly, Qantas themselves would be a major winner, as they would be able to connect Sydney to European and North American destinations non-stop, giving them a significant advantage over competing carriers that rely on connecting flights. Qantas has also been expanding its presence at major European airports, such as the Charles de Gaulle International Airport in France, announcing the re-establishment of operations to Perth after almost 2 decades. Another beneficiary of Project Sunrise would be Airbus, whose A350-1000 has been chosen over the Boeing 777X for these ultra-long-haul operations. If the project proceeds as planned, it could potentially establish Airbus as a leader in the ultra-long-haul market for years to come. This could pose a significant challenge to Boeing's market position. However, not every sector of the aviation industry's major players will be pleased with Project Sunrise. However, arguably the most negatively affected by Project Sunrise would be the airlines that rely on connecting travelers between Europe and Australia, as well as parts of Southeast Asia via hubs in the Middle East or Central Asia. Other airlines impacted would include those operating connecting flights from Dubai International Airport, where a reported 64% of its nearly 37 million passengers in 2022 were connected to other routes. Nevertheless, this situation could also work to the advantage of these carriers on flights from Australia to Europe. Why? Because in Europe, many flights land in a mix of countries across the continent, not just a single destination. This doesn't mean that busy, long-range routes shouldn't be served by non-stop flights, but if there's a chance you're not headed to one of Qantas's main hubs, like London or Paris, then you may be better off choosing an Emirates flight. Despite Project Sunrise appearing like a shining light on the horizon, Middle Eastern carriers would likely have to either completely change or at least slightly alter their business models when the new flights are fully operational. This is because it's almost certain that more hubs will be added if Project Sunrise is successful. This could mean that Qantas will have to cut costs or find innovative ways to convince travelers not to opt for the convenient, nonstop flights. How they achieve this, however, is up to them. Despite seeming on the verge of achieving something revolutionary for the future of commercial aviation, Project Sunrise will not be without its challenges. For one, Qantas intends to run nonstop flights of up to 20 hours from the east coast of Australia to Europe and the U.S. East Coast. This has raised questions from industry and health experts about whether eliminating stopovers is actually a good thing. Their concerns include the well-being of passengers, as well as the aircraft emissions expected on such long flights. Qantas has enlisted scientists from the University of Sydney to delve into the health implications of these extended flights and to mitigate the impact on passengers' body clocks, especially when facing the prospect of witnessing 2 sunrises during a single journey. During a test flight in 2019, meals rich in carbohydrates were served to induce early sleepiness among passengers, while spicy soups were offered to promote alertness closer to arrival times. Additionally, a mid-air calisthenics class was conducted to provide passengers with an opportunity to stretch and stay active. Qantas aimed to simulate potential scenarios to make these lengthy flights more bearable and enjoyable. Regarding environmental effects, Qantas has highlighted that the A350 uses 20% less fuel than other similarly sized aircraft and produces 25% less carbon emissions per seat. However, since Qantas doesn't plan to carry full passenger capacity, the emissions footprint per passenger may be skewed. While non-stop flights reduce emissions by avoiding multiple takeoffs on stopovers, a study by the ICAO found that a non-stop flight from Dubai to Oakland produced an average of 876 kilos of CO2 per economy passenger, compared to 772 kilos when a stopover was made in Singapore. Additionally, emissions are significantly higher for premium class passengers, which Qantas aims to cater to. Qantas believes that the time saved by flying nonstop on ultra-long-haul routes will appeal to business customers flying those routes, and there's also the potential for such operations to help alleviate congestion at major airports. However, Qantas might eventually need to shift away from its luxurious cabin configurations if 20-hour flights become commonplace, as this could be the only way to compete on price. Qantas has not yet released its pricing structure, but fares are expected to be around 30% higher than its traditional routes. Experts believe that Qantas' approach for Project Sunrise could be profitable by targeting business travelers, given the spacious interiors and shorter flight times. Imagine the possibility of living in Sydney and being able to attend a business meeting in London the next day. That's truly groundbreaking. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.